The Jackson Community Concert Band, the director, Dan Bickle. Hi, Dan.
Hello, thanks for having me back.
Yeah, and we just learned that in addition to being director of the band and assistant professor of music, you're the department chair.
Of the liberal arts, yeah, it's a great group of people.
Wow, it's awesome. And you're a performer in your own series of bands.
Yeah, as often as possible. I like to stay busy. I was just doing a virtual run a second ago, so.
No kidding.
Yeah, just while you were talking about it.
Awesome.
I feel great.
All right, we got a big concert, and I say big because you got a lot going on in the concert entitled Michigan Roots and Music of the Southwest.
It was an interesting way to come to it. We were kind of choosing some of our favorites from the last 7 years, because this is my 7th year there, and just meeting with the band over the summertime. We had some ideas, and I had just, well, there are a lot of wonderful musicians in this band, a lot of professional musicians, budding music majors. So there are a couple soloists who we talked with about playing solo. So the Michigan Roots idea comes from, well, 5 different pieces. I'll see if I can get them all right. Dustin Makel is a trombonist from Napoleon who's playing a solo with us, the Variations on Barnacle Bill, and he's just doing things with the trombone that are almost virtuosic already, and you know, he's not even 18 years old yet, or he might be. Then Ron Douglas is conducting a piece, my predecessor, the Danzone No. 2. We have Chris Evan Haas is a member of our group, and he's a professional composer. Many of his original compositions are being performed all over the Midwest and over the country at, you know, band festivals and saxophone ensemble events, and he's just a really great. His wife Jasmine was here not too long ago. She's the band director at Northwest Middle School, and she's in the band as well too. And then we also have Tiana Gillis is a fantastic flute player in our group. Asked her to play a piece as well. And then the 5th connection to the area is David Gillingham. We're playing one of his pieces. He actually took a music theory class at Spring Arbor from one of our members, Bill Kreiderman, way back when, but we didn't have any luck getting Professor Gillingham to join us this time, but Chris Haas is going to be conducting his own piece. Trevor Trudeau, the band director at Napoleon, will be conducting when Dustin Makel is playing the solo, because he's actually his high school band director. So it was a lot of sharing of the local spotlight, which made it a fun theme.
Wow, well, so many reasons to come see, particularly for people who are friends and family of the soloists and the composers who will be featured. One of the things, before we get too much further with this, I wanted to look back at some of the things you've already had this year, the concussion most recently, and I think you had more bands in this than ever before.
This was our, well, it was tied, because there was one year we had Michigan State and the Detroit Pistons and 7 high school drum lines. This year we had the Jackson College drum line participated, and that group is actually led by one of the members of the Honolulu Boom, which is the Detroit Lions drum line. So Honolulu Blue, Honolulu Boom. And Greg Sasita, one of the original architects of the percussion concussion all the way back to 2010, he is part of the Honolulu Boom as well, and a good friend of mine. So putting it all together, we had 8 high school lines, the Jackson College line, and then the Detroit Lions line. And boy, it was a really fun night.
We have a clip of the Lions performance at Percussion Concussion. Let's take a little bit of a look and listen. They're very good.
Yeah, and the drummer in the back in the snare drums, that's Jack Tallman. He's a Western High School alumnus and Michigan State graduate. Now he's teaching music, and he's a member of that group and teaches at the college. So there are a lot of really nice connections about how things are going now.
Yeah.
Great personality too. He's 6 feet 8 inches tall. Yeah, he's a foot taller than I am.
Yes. The Lumen Christi drum line, they performed just the drum line, what they performed at JC on the halftime show this past Friday night, and it's pretty impressive.
I was really thrilled with that group. John Kivel and I go back kind of a long way. And when he brought the Lumen Line last year, it was their first time doing it, which was an interesting coincidence because the event was hosted at Lumen Christi back in 2010 and 2011. So when they finally came and participated, they just kind of observed and had a great time. There's a lot of camaraderie because it's not a competition, it's an exhibition. Everybody gets a chance to meet everybody. They have sectional time with members of the Lions, and all the high schoolers spend some time together. It worked out really well because, boy, when Lumen Christi came in this year, they came to play. It was a really exciting show. We were all like, wow, where did these guys come from? That was wonderful. So really excited for them.
Yeah, they did a great job. Now this concert band, it's amazing how big it is. I think it's bigger or as big as the JSO. You've got how many members?
Well, see, being a community group, from week to week it changes, but usually just before the baton hits at 3 p.m. on the concert date, we've had, in my time there, between 47 and around 80, and I think right now we're at 84.
Oh, wow.
And the time we did 80 was when we had Wesley and the Crushers, and we did the Stormtrooper thing, and that was a funny one because we had like 8 people join 3 weeks before because they heard we were doing Superman and Star Wars, and then they showed up for the last 3 rehearsals, which was a hoot, but the quality of the group right now is it's a real pleasure to work with.
And they come from everywhere. There's some students, there's just regular community members.
Yeah, high schoolers. It's about 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 professionals, weekend warriors, and then high school, college students. But the musicianship has really come up. We get some people from Lansing and from Chelsea who have started joining our group. Based on the success that the group has had, which all the credit has to go to the players. They're the ones making the noise. I just put the music in front of them. If they can't play it, say, well, give that one back. Let's play something else.
You're pretty much just...
Yeah, if I'm not silent, I'm messing it up. So.
Yeah. Well, I learned it's harder because I was a guest conductor. Ron Douglas invited me to come and conduct one of the Jackson Community Concert Band concerts.
I remember.
On the front porch. Mm-hmm. And he was very specific about the instructions. It was like, just draw number 4 over and over again. Mm-hmm. And so that's all I did.
Right.
Yeah. So that's all there is to it.
I was playing tuba on that one. He gave us very specific instructions too. He said, ignore everything that Bart does.
I knew that. Don't look at the guy. All right, so what's the southwest part of this concert?
Just some favorites that all had this similar flavor. Danzón number 2 is sort of a, southwestern style dance, sort of a Mexican flavor. Then we also have El Camino Real, which is a street in California, but the piece is really, it's really riveting. It has sort of the characteristics of what we think of as the American Southwest. And then there's a third piece in that category as well that we're doing. This Land of El Dorado, which is by Francis Macbeth. And it's just kind of exciting music that has that, the Southwestern flair. It's a little hard to describe, but it's really easy to listen to. And we're going to offer you 3 of them right in a row. It's hard not to burn a few calories listening to that stuff because
cool.
It's very exciting music.
Now, Michigan composers, is there is Michigan a style of music? Do these people, when they write, is there, like the Southwest, is there like a flavor to the Michigan music?
Well, interestingly, it's not where the composers are from so much as what influences them. So, I don't know that Chris Haas has written anything of that style, but I know there's a piece by James Barnes, and he's from the Midwest. We're not doing one of his pieces on this concert, but actually he's from the South. I take that back. But he did a piece that has El Carnaval and Sao Paulo. So it was about one of his visits, an international visit. So it's not so much the composer as much as the inspiration in this case. Nice.
Well, it sounds like you've given the community a lot of reasons to come to this concert. And here's one more. How much does it cost?
It costs $0.
Well, there you go. Mm-hmm. Can't beat that price. Mm-hmm. Double your money back if you're unhappy.
Absolutely.
All right, in the Harold Sheffer Music Hall, 3 o'clock.
And I guarantee Sunday. You'll be out of there by 4:19. I always aim for 4:19 that we finish. So far, we've come really close. Yeah, well, you seem like the guy that would be really precise with time. You're the first person to say that. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. Always great to see you, Dan. Thank you. From Jackson College, Jackson Community Concert Band, the director, Dan Bickel.